the main people, the EDFs and the Magnoxes and the T1 contractors. We're led by nuclear sector employees from both civil and defence, and we provide valuable, cost-effective and practical support to organisations large and small. We can help apply the right solutions to improve your capability through industry-designed apprenticeships. We are an endpoint assessment organisation in our own right, so we are busy with nuclear-specific qualifications. Apprenticeships, and a colleague of mine, Zoe Whittington, is currently up at Sellafield putting some level 2 apprentices through a multi-choice test as part of their endpoint assessment. We also look at competence and e-learning management tools and support. We have our own e-learning capabilities through the Nuclear Training Network, and the website is on there, and I'll touch upon this later on. We also look at recruitment, including the Nuclear Gateway tool, and we're just about to embark on a new job vacancy program, which will be coming out in due course. Training courses, we work with the industry to develop courses on their behalf, including nuclear awareness, safety culture, which is quite important, quality codes and manufacturing. And then we can also help with skills and training needs analysis. Our 3 core areas, as you can see on the screen there, the first one is membership. We are, like EEGR, we are a member-led, and you know, we rely on them to provide information on the issues that they have, and then we go away and design and talk to the rest of the industry with regards to putting new products and services in place. Members are eligible for discounts of up to 50% on NSAN courses, and it gives them free access to the NS4P, which is our competence framework. We are commercial as well to back up the membership fees that we get in, as you can see there. And then also one of our main items is competence as assessment service. We developed a competence framework covering a lot of the disciplines, which forms part of the skills passport for nuclear, and something I know that other industries are now looking at developing. So we are keen to work on them to show our experience and what we've been up to in that area. So moving on to a few slides from Suffolk Chamber of Commerce. Gareth unfortunately couldn't make it this morning. He had a previous meeting in his diary, but he has sent through some slides for us. So just to go through these, I don't want to read them all out. As you say, you will get copies of these at the end, but just to emphasize some of the main points there. What they're after is deliver and maintain a live database of supply chain providers to support EDF and T1 contractors for Sizewell C. And I believe at the moment, when I was talking to Gareth last week, there are 1,600 companies, if not more now, that have registered on the portal. They're looking to provide support to your business in all aspects of securing work at Sizewell C, and they will be putting out organised targeted events, sort of meet the buyer, technical assistance, etc., things like that. And the whole point of it is to increase the number of local and regional SMEs supporting nuclear new build at Sizewell C. I think the government, as part of the nuclear sector deal and acts before that, have kind of said that they're looking at a 60% UK content on nuclear new builds. So what you need to do is register or update your business on the supply chain portal, and the link is there. Fill in all the details requested. The more detail, the better, which I think is very important too. And if possible, provide a case study of your work. Register for webinars and events as detailed, and as the point at the bottom there, we would urge you to make sure that you are ready for Sizewell. And the Nuclear Readiness Programme is an ideal way of companies to start on that journey of getting ready for working in nuclear. As you can see, not just technical and engineering roles that are needed. Companies from the east of England are working at Hinkley Point C, and the the knowledge and experience that they will gain from that contract, they will be able to bring back over to Sizewell C. And as you can see, it's you know, it's not just as you see, engineering work. It's right down to taxi drivers, bus drivers, and sandwich makers. So please, and I think just before I move on, the main point that Gareth would like to get over is that the companies need to act now and engage with both the NSAN programme and the Suffolk Supply Chain Portal to increase potential opportunities for winning contracts in support of the Sizewell C project. They've already started to pull together the joint ventures, and they will require supply chain solutions, and have started approaching local businesses to achieve this. So work is already underway. So now moving on to the nuclear readiness programme itself. These are the organisations that are delivering the programme: West Suffolk College, ourselves, and New Anglia LEP. But would also like to include and thank other organisations: EEGR, the ECITB, Suffolk Chamber of Commerce, Nuclear Industry Association, to name for a few, for their help in promoting the programme and getting it out to a wider audience. So, what's the aims and objectives of the programme? What we talked about. I mean, this is a programme that's been going on for 18 months now, and you know, and we've been looking at funding support being made available for local business in the New Anglia region to undertake training to develop the skills needed to maximise the opportunities in nuclear. It's funded through the New Anglia Local Enterprise Partnership through the Innovative Project Fund, struggled with that word, and facilitated by ourselves, that's what we do, and delivered through our Eastern Flagship Centre, West Suffolk College. The programme will help to deliver a high-performing, high-quality workforce to support the nuclear programme with the highest standards of nuclear professionalism, safety and competitiveness. We will provide industry with the confidence to invest in the nuclear future by securing a workforce with the capability, capacity and the commitment required. We'll also assist the supply chain to develop the skills and expertise required to compete in the UK and global market for nuclear contracts, and clearly demonstrate workforce competence to site operators and large tier 1 contractors. We'll do that by developing a highly skilled and flexible workforce that allows employees to compete effectively for new businesses and leads to a progression for individuals themselves, providing an inclusive economy with a highly skilled workforce. So we'll raise awareness of the current situation, the current and future opportunities to work in the nuclear supply chain, and through delivery of a suite of courses from ourselves, delivered, as I said earlier, through West Suffolk College. Will it enable employees to benchmark their operations against recognised nuclear standards and take the necessary steps to close the accident?
Just doing Doug's webinar through EEGR, right, about NSAN.
Sorry about that. Enabling employees to benchmark their operations against recognised nuclear standards and take the necessary steps to close the gaps. What we're looking at there is the nuclear culture, which is all about attitudes and behaviours. We'll learn and build on successful supply chain work that's been carried out in Somerset, as Gareth was saying, and bring that expertise over to Sizewell. And we'll enable employees to become leaner, more productive and more efficient, gaining accreditations that mean they are able to bid for a wide range of contracts in the nuclear industry at both home and abroad. And by embracing the standards set in nuclear, it's been proven that companies can win contracts in other sectors, as they've raised the bar in terms of the quality, the competence and skill levels of their employees, and also through their internal systems. So the actual deliverables, we're looking to engage with up to 40 employers in the New Anglia LEP region. We will provide training for up to 415 people, hopefully more, on industry recognised qualifications delivered through the college. And what that means is we can provide up to a maximum discount of 40% per person on the NSAN courses identified. And at the end of this programme, which is an 18-month programme due to finish on 30th of November 2021, we will evaluate the effectiveness of the programme for potential rollout in other LEP areas, because we understand that there will be a lot of companies in other parts of the east of England who will be working on Sizewell C. So looking at the first course, focus on the courses that are on offer through the Nuclear Readiness Programme, and the first one being the Award for Nuclear Industry Awareness. It's a level 2 qualification. This course is ideal for apprentices, graduates, individuals transitioning into the nuclear sector from oil and gas, chemicals, or there are in other sectors, and individuals who wish to gain a qualification in recognition of their knowledge. It comes in 3 units. The first one looking at the history and development of the nuclear industry, so going right back to the 1930s. It'll touch on the nuclear weapons in the war, Calder Hall in the 1950s, right up to present day, and the nuclear new build. Unit 2 is more of a science one, fundamentals of nuclear science, how the atom was split and the contents and things like that. Unit 3 is the application of nuclear energy and also waste disposal. So there's a lot of environmental impacts on that. We touch on the geological disposal facility, which Radioactive Waste Management are currently working on. That is a 100-year project, and I'm sure you've seen that in the press lately. It's an online course, and it's 70 guided learning hours. Now, the 70 guided learning hours it may seem a lot, but that is if we have to use worst case scenario. So it's if you take a 16-year-old or whatever straight out of school, put them on the Award for Nuclear Industry Awareness, we would expect them to do 70 learning hours through that. But obviously people who are already in the engineering sector or manufacturing centre, we would say that would take less. It includes a written exam at an approved NSAN centre in the east of England. It's a nationally recognised qualification through PAVQ set, and the course is available on the Nuclear Training Network, and the website is there below. And when you find it on the website, we have put a little taster session on that before you sign up. But that is included in this programme. Moving on to the triple bars. They've been designed to provide a basic introduction to working in the different aspects of nuclear. A great addition to an induction programme for new starters or people transferring into the nuclear industry, or for those that want to revise their knowledge. They're called the triple bars, as all the courses are made up of 3 modules or bars. They are what is available. Triple bar existing sites, as the title explains, that is for, if I keep to this region as examples, you would need triple bar existing sites to work on Sizewell A, which is currently going through decommissioning, and other Magnox sites throughout the UK, including Dounreay up in Scotland. Triple bar nuclear new build, as it said, is currently being used down at Hinkley Point C. We worked with EDF in the early days of putting this together. That delivery is online, and the triple bar nuclear security at the end, we were asked to provide that from the International Atomic Energy Agency, and again, that's an online course. But the 2 that I want to focus on the nuclear readiness programme is the triple bar nuclear manufacturing and the triple bar nuclear leadership. So taking the first one, triple bar nuclear manufacturing, it provides manufacturers with a basic introduction to nuclear industry expectations in terms of knowledge, quality and behaviours. It gives individuals working in the manufacturing sector a sound understanding of what differentiates nuclear from other industries. And the people that we're looking to go on this course is anyone working at all levels in the manufacturing supply chain, particularly those involved in product design, manufacture, inspection and testing, sales, procurement, project management, so right across the board. It's ideal for new entrants to the sector, as well as long-standing employees who have had little or no prior nuclear awareness training. It's delivered in a classroom and is a 2-day course. The next one, triple bar nuclear leadership. It helps delegates understand what is different about leadership and the management style expected to be able to work confidently in the nuclear supply chain, and will suggest tools and techniques that will help establish the right business culture. As you can see there, it is looking at the lead in nuclear awareness, nuclear quality. The emphasis, I must say, is on the quality side of things. And who should attend this course? We're looking at middle managers, supervisors, team leaders seeking to move to the next level of management, and graduates or completed apprentices as part of their career development program. And what we're looking at doing is delivering this course immediately after, or putting the date immediately after the triple bar nuclear manufacturing. The other thing to mention on this course here, it will be shown on our website as a 2-day course, and the way that is split, as it says on the bottom, it's half day of pre-course. We will send some case studies out looking at like Piper Alpha and the BP1 in the Gulf of Mexico. You would read that, come into the classroom, there's a tutor-led 1 day, and then you take that learning away back into the workplace, and I think you have a month or 6 weeks to put together a report on post-course reflection work, and that's marked, and then you get your certificate. Looking at the next course, Enhanced RCCM Fundamentals. The RCCM is the French standard for the design and construction of pressurized equipment relating to the nuclear island of pressurized water reactor power plants. This course delivers a fast-paced overview of a full RCCM standard and covers essential knowledge as a first base to more in-depth training and practical use of the code. As I say, it is delivered by Bureau Veritas with their tutors coming over from Paris. So there is a long lead in on this one. It's aimed at engineers, quality managers, and other key personnel, as it says there, and again delivered in the classroom, and this is a 3-day course. Human performance course is the next one. It's about us as individuals and teams and how we can reduce the frequency of errors whilst building in better defence mechanisms. It's been designed and proven by arguably the most safety critical sector of all, which is nuclear. And however, its learning outcomes are just as relevant to teams and individuals in other high integrity, high regulated industries, as they learn from the nuclear sector's experience and be able to apply this knowledge in their own workplaces. So the programme fully meets the requirements set out in the internationally recognised Human Performance Fundamental Training Standard, and this standard has been developed by leading employers from the UK, the US and European nuclear sectors, and provides a solid benchmark and consistent approach to all human performance settings. Again, delivered in classroom as a 1-day course. You may have seen for those that follow Ensign on LinkedIn, that we've recently helped launch the online coaching to support a healthy nuclear safety culture, and this course would sit perfectly with that one. That covers the courses, a quick whistle-stop tour of the courses that is covered in the nuclear readiness programme. Obviously, more details are available on our website, and I will be sending links out to that via ESME. Looking at the course costs, which I'm sure everyone will be interested in. The Award for Nuclear Industry Awareness, £495. We have allocated 80 places for this. That may change depending on demand, and the cost of that, if you apply the 40% discount through this programme, reduces it from £495 to £297. Triple bar nuclear manufacturing is the main focus of this programme, because we believe that getting the quality, the safety culture and the attitudes and behaviours of people correct is the main way that we can get people to move into the nuclear sector. So as you can see there, 240 places available. We're looking at a minimum of 12 courses on this over the 18 months. And again, the costs are there. Triple bar nuclear leadership, 75 places are available on that one. RCCM is an expensive course. As I say, we have to get the trainers come over from Paris. French speaking is not required, I must say. And again, 30 places on that. We're looking at 2 courses, and human performance fundamentals, 2 courses minimum on that one, 30 places. But again, we've been given flexibility through the new Anglia LEP, depending on what the uptake are of these courses. So if we need to put more triple bar nuclear leadership on, we can move that funding around to suit, and they're quite happy for us to do that. So moving on to a case study, an EEEGR member and also an NSAN member, Brafe Engineering down in Suffolk. They joined us a number of years ago with the desire to maximise the business opportunities in the nuclear sector. Brafe do valve castings and other machining operations. So they found that the NSAN developed the triple bar nuclear manufacturing of particular benefit to the organisation as they will work towards achieving their business strategy. So how they identified the need for the course, it was something that they had built into their business plan, and then looking at the services that NSAN offer, it kind of met what they were looking at as part of their quality systems. So moving on, how did they decide? We advised them to put a selection of people through the first course, which was an open course, so there was other companies available as well going on the course. So it was sort of like some of their managers, some of their shop floor supervisors, and some of their apprentices as well. And as it says there, you know, the following the satisfaction of the first course attended, which I think they had 6 delegates on, they identified that this would be very beneficial to the rest of their organisation. So we've put on, I think to date, 3 in-house courses specifically at Brafe, and as it says there, to date 33% of the workforce has attended, and we're now working on them with Brafe to roll that out to the rest of their workforce as time goes on. So we asked the question, what has been the impact on the company's culture, which is obviously one of the main outcomes of the triple bar nuclear manufacturing, and it has had a huge impact on the culture. And you know, it focuses their mind sort of, you know, the fact that someone is in a machine shop doing, as an example, widgets for something. It's getting them to focus their mind that widget goes into a bigger widget, which actually goes into a nuclear power station, and all the importance and the quality procedures attached to that. And then they go on to about the culture, obviously a vital part of our approach to nuclear. As I said earlier, culture, nuclear safety culture and nuclear professionalism is vital to the nuclear sector, and we take that very seriously there. With regards to an increase in quality and productivity, it's kind of definitely a improvement on quality and the productivity. Yes, there was in some respect, but it also affected non-nuclear work because of the messages that had been received from the course. So I will get the full case study down to you via ESME. And how do you register to come on to the nuclear readiness program? In the first instance, we would like to ask you to log on to the NSAN system through our website, which is nsan.co.uk, and down the bottom there you can see be our guest. Sign up as a guest. There's no obligation to join, but it gives us an idea. The questions that it asks you once you sign on is that what are you interested in? So put the names of the courses from this program that you're interested in, and then that will give us an idea of the numbers available, and we can put the dates out and promote those to you as we go through the program. The slide pack that I'll be sent after the webinar will be the promotional brochure in the top left there, a link to the website top right, the case study, and we've also produced with West Suffolk College a number of frequently asked questions, and I'm sure that there will be some on there that we will have missed. So please, if you have any more questions, please feel free to email me back. Further information on this, there's my details there. NSAN's main website, nucleartrainingnetwork.com for the Award for Nuclear Industry Awareness, my email address and telephone number. And thanks very much. As I say, a whistle-stop tour of the Nuclear Readiness Programme. So I'm now going to hand over to Phil Stittle, who's the Executive Director for Business Development at West Suffolk College. And Phil will take us through how the college will deliver these courses. Over to you, Phil.
Thank you, Doug. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all well. Yeah, we're excited to be a part of this programme and support the supply chain of Norfolk and Suffolk ready for the nuclear build. It's a great opportunity for business to be involved. And actually, I had a call just before this webinar from an employer just asking me some questions around why they should get involved and what's the best course for them and so forth. So we're happy to field any questions such as that, as Doug will be, I'm sure, as well. The plan for delivery. So initially, the ANYA, the awareness course, is available online until we then start to return to some face-to-face delivery post September. That's our delivery plan. Now we'll obviously look at guidance that's released from government between then and now, and just to see that we're ensuring that we've got a safe delivery method as such. The idea of the delivery sessions, they will happen within our Bury campus or either Ipswich and Thetford as well. Depending on the real demand, we may scatter across the region just to ensure that we get the best coverage. What I would say, though, is where employers have a number they would wish to train on site, we can then certainly have that discussion and hopefully build, that course and the right timings for them. There's set requirements around each course in terms of what is required delivery-wise, i.e. classroom size and resources, but we can look at those and have those discussions. It's a great project. As Doug alluded to, there's a lot of support available in terms of the financial, but also then for you guys that are looking to go into the sector or working in the sector. Actually, it gives you that standard benchmark. It was key from the conversation I had earlier around the purpose of why they should do this, and I think the Brafe case study alludes to that. So certainly increasing the quality, looking at how then that affects your business, reputation. You can go into other sectors because your quality has been driven up. So I think it's a great project. We again are looking and speaking with Doug and the team to see the future of online delivery. I think that was a question that was posed on the side. So we're looking at how that can be streamed into classrooms, Google Classrooms or Zoom or Teams calls such as this. Actually, that might be a better method in the first quarter of the year, but we'd need just having those discussions, and then we can update you further on that. So initially the ANYA until September, and then we're publishing dates very, very shortly on the face-to-face courses that will happen post September. But that's a little bit from me, and yeah, I welcome any questions, as I'm sure Doug will as well. So lovely, thank you very much for listening, and speak again soon.
Thanks, Phil. So I'll now stop sharing my screen, if that is okay, and I'll hand back to EEGR. There you go. Simon's already done it. Have you got control, Simon?
I certainly have. So Doug and Phil, thank you very much indeed for your presentations, most useful. There were a number of questions that came out, and as I said, just for those in the audience, just to say that if you don't want your details to be known, if you want to ask an anonymous question, if you can email them through to esme.thornton@eegr.com. But we do have a whole raft of questions that have come in, including a number from me. Yeah, I did ask about going online, because one of the issues I thought there straight away was, well, this is great, but actually we're using classrooms much. So I think one of the key issues that I want to address first of all is, and I think Phil, you touched on it, but are there concrete plans, or is this still very much emerging in terms of being able to deliver some, if not all, of these courses online, please? Doug and Phil, who wants to go first? Doug, you go first.
Which one are we looking at, Simon? Sorry, I was scrolling through them there.
Right. Are there plans to take these courses online for remote or distance learning? I mean, that's the question. My point being that certainly for businesses, I think the majority of businesses will not send their staff into a classroom environment at the moment. So if that's the case, are there plans to deliver these online or remotely somehow?
I think we would be governed by the employers on that, because obviously if there are sufficient employers that would prefer the course to be taken through Zoom or Teams, then we would seriously look at that. And I can't see there being a problem. We have done that with the work that we do with apprentices, and I'm sure Phil at the colleges have been doing work like that too. So, as you said earlier, Simon, the necessity is the mother of invention. So, whatever the industry need, we'll work with them.
Yeah, totally agree. I think our model's certainly shifted to a lot more online delivery, even through shorter courses that we offer and apprenticeship delivery. That's exactly right. So I'll have that conversation with Doug afterwards and see what we can look at and have a blended type model.
Okay, it's another question for both of you, I guess, but I noticed that Rachel Bunn from East Coast College is on this, pitching her offerings as well. I just say, do East Coast College and West Suffolk College work together in these areas with NSAN? And if not, are there plans to?
I'd be more than happy to. Yeah, it's about the supply chain. Whether we're from different colleges or not, that's irrelevant. It's actually supplying the training skills requirements that employers need across, Norfolk and Suffolk. That's what we're here for. That's what our outset should be. So I'm more than happy to liaise with Rachel and come up with that sort of I suppose a sharing offer of where the company's located or so forth. Now I think there might be a bit that Doug might look at through membership, but that's just another matter. But I'm happy to certainly work with Rachel to supply what's needed for the area.
Well, not everyone online are either NSAN or EEGR members, but likewise, I think EEGR is always keen to work with other people to see how we can develop things, and if there's anything we can do to facilitate things, then we'd love to. Doug, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if I could just emphasise that you do not have to be a member of anyone in order to take advantage of the funding on the nuclear readiness programme. Is available to anyone within the New Anglia companies in the New Anglia region.
Great segue there, Doug. Are there any other sources of funding available to support the Nail Up funds for the programme?
If you are a member of NSAN, and like Brafe are, they attract up to 50% discount on the NSAN courses, because obviously we do the courses on behalf of our members, and that discount will be applied to the courses before the 40% is then applied, if that makes sense. So
it's not 90% discount, it's 50% then 40%.
Yes, so if I use the example sort of to make it easy, if the course is £100 and you're an NSAN member, you would get 50% discount. So you would then get, the course would then be £50. You would then apply the 40% discount from this programme. So therefore, that £100 of spend that you initially had with the NSAN membership and the nuclear readiness programme funding, you would only end up spending £30.
And a maths masterclass as part of this presentation as well, Doug. Thanks. Really enjoyed that.
Well, we did this earlier, so.
Are there any restrictions on who can apply for the funding? Is it open to everyone, or are there any criteria you have to meet before you can get that funding?
The only criteria is that the company has to have an address in the New Anglia LEP region. So I think we are talking Norfolk, Suffolk. But as I said at the early part of the presentation, as we go through this programme and start the evaluation process, we are looking to promote this to other LEP areas. And I know that Warrington and Cheshire Local Enterprise Partnership have launched something similar in their area. The criteria is slightly different, but they are also offering 40% discount on on training courses. So it's already moved out there.
So it does sound then as though the new Anglia Local Enterprise Partnership is being pretty forward-thinking in terms of delivering that in this region, if not first, at least early on.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
That's good to hear. And I want to ask. I think you did mention on this, but did you say that the courses don't specifically have to be delivered at a college? If there's sufficient volume, you would deliver it at a particular employer's offices if required?
That's exactly right, Simon. Yeah, we'll certainly look at the demand, ensure the viability, and yeah, that's totally doable to go to employers and deliver on their premises without a doubt.
Dear old John Best is online and has asked a question. Would you expect anything other than John Best asking a question? So thank you, John. Do you see opportunities for hydrogen in both Hinckley C and Sizewell C replacing traditional diesel plant there? Interesting question. Again, circa 85 to 90% of a nuclear new build is non-nuclear. So civils, machinery, and plant. So I don't know whether either you have any ideas or comments on this, but hydrogen being used in the nuclear sector for cutting emissions from a traditional diesel plant.
Well, I know that EDF are already looking at this with their plans for Hinckley and Sizewell, but I can't go into the detail of whether they'll be replacing traditional diesel plant on site. I think that's something that will be further down the line and will be brought through EDF. So I'm going to step back on that one. Sorry, John.
Phil, if you don't have anything to add on that one, I have something which is that we're looking to be doing, and I've just seen some email correspondence going through to do a presentation with EDF. And that's something, certainly, John, if you can keep that question in your back pocket, we'll make sure that we can ask that of EDF when we have them online when they're talking about Sizewell C as well. Another interesting question here is, do you have to undergo NSAN training or qualifications to be able to operate within the nuclear sector? Or is it something that might assist you, but it's not absolutely a pre-requirement?
It depends. I mean, as I said, when I first mentioned the triple bar programs, the triple bar existing site is a prerequisite to get onto any of the NDA sites. So the Magnox sites in particular, and Doon Ray, we've made it online, but it's something that the industry have required, and the way that those courses work, it allows people to go around different sites without having to undergo exactly the same training on another site as that they've done the previous week. So it is the transition of the workforce and cuts down on duplicate training. But moreover, it's on the technical side, we are, as I said, we have developed the competence framework under the NS4P, and that is looking at identifying the common standards from the nuclear industry, and also bringing into what people are coming from, bringing with them from other industries, because a mechanical maintenance technician should have the same skills, whether he's oil and gas or nuclear. And I think it's only, as I've said, the main emphasis is on skills, attitudes and behaviours. So it's getting that mindset for moving across from one sector into the nuclear sector is what we focus on.
Doug, we're all guilty of this, but jargon busting, NS4P?
It's that's what it is. It's the NS4P. It's something that we developed. It's on behalf of the industry. We're busy updating that, and we're going to be calling that Skills Assured, and that's going to be launched later this summer.
One of the great things about sorry, Phil, do you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's really around the sort of tendering process, and when you're an organisation, you're tendering for work, anything that adds value to that tender, given the scenario of training or skills or competencies that your staff have, that goes down as plus points. So
Yeah.
I think certainly looking at this as an addition to any work that might well appear in the horizon, actually this gives a value to companies, that even so far as if managers were trained and they're cascading that down to their employees, it's showing they're willing, their demand, that they're sort of, you know, grabbed to actually ensure that they're operating at the highest level. So that's where I would add. I also would state that actually it fits very well with what NAMRAC are doing at NAMRC for the Fit for Nuclear project. So where they will come and inspect the company, look at what they need to get ready, and actually they would then feed and state actually training in this context might well suit and be, you know, required for them to take it to the next level.
Yes.
Well,
and we're working with the East of England rep from the NMRC to help promote these to the companies that they're working with in the area, which is good.
And before John Best puts another question in there, I'll mention now that I know that Fit for Nuclear has been such a success that we've now moved that over to Fit for Offshore Renewables as well. So Fit for Offshore Renewables is something that the LEP are taking up in association with ORE Catapult, and we'll be delivering Fit for Offshore Wind sessions in the region as well. And the interesting thing about going online with these things, with webinars, as opposed to having our own seminars in our own regions, is it opens up to a much wider audience. So here's a question that's coming from Canada. Great concept, love it for the nuclear industry. Wondering if this would be available in Canada.
Of course it will. I'll go.
But seriously, is there equivalent to WENSAN in Canada? Do you know?
We've had some discussions. Colleagues of mine had some discussions with our equivalent over in Canada back end of last week. So those links are already being made, and also through the conference and things that we have with the Nuclear Industry Association. So the links are there. But yes, with it being online, it can go anywhere.
So Keith, who's the questioner, if you want to put your question to Esme, she sent you the invite to this webinar. So if you want to pose that question, I'll feed that through to Doug, and perhaps we can pick up. And the same with Phil. I don't know whether you've got a sister college in Canada that you're working with or something of that nature that we might be able to put him in touch with as well.
I can certainly do a scouting mission again, like Doug said. But no, again, that's the joy of being able to deliver online, isn't it, to that wider audience. So that's, I think, come back to your first question. If we can look at building those more online modules and the delivery aspect, then everyone can be involved.
Question from Cheryl Willis from East Suffolk District Council. Aware of a number of SMEs that are keen to get into the nuclear sector and are at the first stage, not necessarily EEGR members, and some are micro companies, hence local training is key for accessibility. I think that's probably a statement rather than a question. But I don't know whether either of you wants to comment on any of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we're all set up for. Our main focus as a region is to ensure that we get as many of the highly skilled, highly paid jobs down at Sizewell locally as we can, and we will work with everyone, all our partners, in order to achieve that. That is our ultimate goal for Sizewell C.
We know SMEs make up a vast amount of employers in the local area, and there's some high expertise and skill. We're there to support them. That's exactly what this is about. So again, this will add value to them. And again, I'll just refer back to the Fit for Nuclear. That's absolutely perfect to a company to be involved with, to say, right, what do we need to make sure we're competitive within the market?
Okay, I've got just enough time for a couple of points and questions. Paul Warmington from Suffolk County Council and the New Anglia LEP. Do these training programs complement any of the Fit for Nuclear training by NAMRC, which I think you've answered that actually already, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Okay,
John Best says, thanks very much. We'll certainly take part in the EDF part. John, always lengthy questions. Prepared for it to given round 4 and Scott Wednesday having a strong focus on innovation through hydrogen, it'd be a very positive direction to travel. Okay, so John will take part in our next EDF session as well. Another question came in saying, will only EEGR members have access to these presentations? No, everyone that's logged into this event will send through the presentations to you. Kindly, Ensan and Phil at West Suffolk College have both agreed to have their slides access, so we will be sending those out after this event. So that's it. We're dead on time. Exactly 11:30.
It's like we planned it, Simon.
Well, exactly. One might almost think we've done this before.
Yes.
Can I thank both Doug and Phil for their inputs?
Thank
some
you.
Really useful stuff. And thank you to all of you that registered to take part in this today. A really good interactive session, some great questions. Thank you very much indeed for your input into this. As I say, do let us know which speakers, which subjects, which companies you want to hear from, and we'll try and deliver those to you for future presentations and webinars as well. Remember, keep a regular lookout on the EEGR website because, as I said, we're doing regular Wednesday webinars. And these are varied inside from sort of 20 participants to 200 participants. So we're keen to try and make sure that we deliver you the subjects that you want. And also do please register for our weekly newsletter. That's there to try and help you and keep you informed. You don't have to be an EEGR member to be able to register for the newsletter. And also, but for members exclusively, we have a Membership Monday session, which is where we send out information on our members to around 3,000 companies and individuals on our database. So if you have a particular item of news, a project or a service you feel is cutting edge and wholly unique, then do let us know those, and we'll put those out to our database and try and win more business for your company as well. As I said, we'd really welcome any comments from you, both good and bad. If we're doing well, let us know, please. If we're not doing so well, also let us know. And there's my email address. So contact me. I'm Simon Gray. I'm the Chief Executive of EEGR. So let me know what you think about these sessions and what else we can do to help your business. Thank you very much to both our speakers, and hopefully look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye. Stay safe.
Bye.